Ladies and gentlemen, it is Halloween, October 31st, on a Friday. And this is what's coming up on the Owen Report today. We're feeling Halloween nicey today. And it's actually criminal. Not even in studio right now. It might be the perfect day in Austin, Texas right now. It might be the perfect day. 77 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, just a tiny bit of a breeze just to remind you that it's crisp enough to be considered autumn, fall in a week. But don't worry, we're here. We're here with the latest news. So here's what we got for you. We got a judge that now two judges, actually, since we've gone live. Two judges that say the American taxpayer is constitutionally obligated to pay for SNAP. To pay for SNAP benefits. So you know what? We're going to look into that. We're going to look into these judges. They are Obama judges. One of these judges has already had ridiculous rulings against Trump. It was another welfare thing. The judge said that the American people have to pay for welfare. You know, I think it's the exact opposite, personally. So we're going to look into these judges. Winsome Sears, Virginia's lieutenant governor, running for governor now, and we are just days away from that election in Virginia. Her bus caught fire. Her bus caught fire, and somehow we all doubt that this was a natural thing. Somehow we all immediately are thinking the exact same thing about what happened to this bus, which is ironic because you see this image, and we'll show you the images of her bus catching fire, and it's got her face on it, obviously, since it's her bus. And it's on fire, and it's like, yeah, this is what the Democrats have been doing to black people for 50 years, for more than 50 years. It's ironic. It's ironic, isn't it? And then they go on TV and they say the Republicans won't vote for a woman, even though they're trying to get Winsome Sears as the next governor. Because her opponent, Abigail Spanberger, is a woman. They say this just shows that Republicans and conservatives are sexist. They won't vote for a woman. The candidate she's running against is a woman. And now you've probably just lit her bus on fire. But maybe it was something else. Maybe it wasn't you Democrats. We always suspect that it's you. We got some election news, some election fraud news, actually some very important election fraud news. It looks like Ireland understands what I was talking about yesterday of what's happening in the Netherlands. It looks like Ireland understands. And so now Ireland is taking some measurements of its own to avoid what happened to Geert Wilders. So we'll tell you what's going on with that. We got some drama at CBS after the Paramount takeover. And now Barry Weiss moving in to take over the news program. We've got some drama. We've got some drama happening over there, and it's pretty fun, actually. It's pretty fun to watch it happen. I'm not going to lie. So we'll tell you what's going on with that. Are they going to riot this weekend when the SNAP benefits run out? Are they going to riot? And President Trump really wants you to know about something today. President Trump really wants you to know about the radical Islamic jihad happening in Nigeria. Sound familiar? Where have we seen this before? Where have we heard this before? So we'll tell you all about that. And, you know, I don't know if it's going to happen on this Halloween. I don't know. But I've invited the producer, Dominic, to be a part of the show today. We'll see. We'll see. We've only let him on once, I think. I think we've only let him on one time. But Tyrant Owen Tyrant Owen is opening up the airwaves and has told producer Dominic he's welcome to be part of the show today. Full show today, which actually is not entirely true because I don't think we're going to be doing a full show today. I think we're probably going to be doing 2 hours. I'll let you know why. I guess I'll let you know why now. Got about a family Halloween event tonight, and if I do the whole show, I'll be a little late. And I'm the boss around here, so I can do whatever I want. So I think we'll probably do just over 2 hours. Might go a little short of 3 hours today. I hope you'll forgive me on this Halloween, but I'm cutting you loose early too. So I'm really doing us all a favor. So you can thank me later. What are you being for Halloween tonight? I've got my costume right here.
This news update was brought to you by OwenSchroyer.store, the official site for Owen Report merchandise.
We'll just do Halloween music all day. How do you guys feel about that? I'm actually thinking maybe we just do Halloween music all day today. You know? Maybe I'll just give you guys a Halloween playlist. We'll just do it live on air. Do you have a good Halloween playlist tonight? Probably not. Not as good as the list I'm going to give you. You know?
Extra dimensional and multi-universal. Here's your host, Owen Schroyer.
Hey, howdy, hi, how you doing? It's Halloween here on this Friday, October 31st. On a Friday, Halloween on a Friday always equals good times and trouble. It's a little bit of both. You get a little bit of both in that regard. But man, I hope it's as nice. I hope it's as nice wherever you are today as it is here in Austin, Texas. It is about as good as it gets today. It is even criminal. I've got the studio doors open. So I can still see the window. The window's letting some of the light in. You know, the window I was staring out the other night when I witnessed UFOs or whatever the hell was going on in the sky, the orbs and everything else. I don't even think I talked about that this week on the show. I did a little video on it. Maybe today, since it's Halloween, we can talk about it. I'm just feeling nicey. I'm feeling loosey. It's kind of it's the 1 month. It's the first month like anniversary show today. It's like today caps the first month. When the Owen Report goes live next week, it's going to be November. So I'm just feeling nicey. I'm feeling loosey goosey. I'm feeling Halloweeny. Maybe we'll just open the phone lines. We do have some news. I'm light on the news today, though. I'm light on the news. I got ghoulish figures here. Yeesh. Look. I'm sure Christy Noam is nice. I got to say, though, it's kind of strange, isn't it? And I guess I get it in TV, the people that cake on the makeup. I could never do it. I've been in a couple of big TV studios, and they have these makeup artists. And I mean, they're pros, but they have these makeup artists, and they're like, I don't know. I don't even know what you would describe them as, because I don't want to have a negative connotation, but they're like, they're kind of like rats a little bit. They're kind of like cockroaches. They're great people. I'm not insulting them, but the way they move around, it's like they don't make a sound, and they're just like, and they scurry up to you, and they got the whole makeup thing ready to go. Like, you sit down in the chair, and it's like, and there's like 4 of them all around you out of nowhere with the makeup and whatever, the brushes, the pads, and you got to be prepared. It's a little intimidating. It's a little shocking, because what happens is, and I think the reason the TV makeup crews do this is because the executives, the producers are like, hey, we got to put makeup on these people so they look better for TV. So they're like, okay, we got to rush in there and get makeup. Because what happens is, if you're not prepared, they put that first whatever on you. They hit you with that first brush. They hit you with that first pad. Now you're in. Now you got nowhere to go. There's no escape. They got you. So you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. As soon as they get into your personal space, you have to say, no makeup. You have to be assertive. But you have to be prepared because they move in. They move in fast. And if they get that first touch on you, you're done. Because where are you going to go? They got you now. They hit you with it now. But it's like, I get why they do it in TV. So I guess I get why they do it in politics. But it is weird. All the people in politics that wear makeup. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's a really weird look. It's a formaldehyde face look. And personally, I guess you could argue it does, when it's done right on TV, it does make you look better on TV. That is true. When it's done right on TV, it makes you look a lot better. 100% true. I've seen the biggest names on TV with and without makeup, and I will say, okay, I get why you do it, the men included. But then you see it in real life. When you see it in person, it's a horror show. It is a Halloween horror show. It is truly a Halloween horror show. But every time I'm in a TV studio, which I don't know when it will happen again, every time I'm prepared and I'm ready to say no. Just say no. This face doesn't need makeup. Are you kidding me? What's wrong with you? Hell is wrong with you? Unbelievable. So anyway, you got this. Totally unrelated, I'm sure. Totally unrelated. Christy Noam. So what? Do I even want to cover the news today? Not really. To be honest with you, I really don't. I don't even want to cover the news. I remember, and I used to, was a big fan of Michael Savage growing up. Still am a big fan, by the way. And there's a couple lessons. There's actually a couple lessons that I've learned from this. But I remember Michael Savage used to go on air maybe once a month or so. And he'd basically, I guess, be feeling the same way. And he'd just be like, I just can't do it. I just can't cover the news. And it'd usually be, I kind of started to notice the pattern after years of listening to him. It was usually after a week of really, really passionate talk, really passionate political talk, cultural talk, which Michael Savage is obviously famous for, great at. And so I feel like maybe that's what it is. We just had kind of a passionate week, really just a passionate month at times. And now I'm just kind of like, I just can't even do it. I just don't even want to do it. I just can't even do the whole thing today with the drama. So I don't know. We could do, what's your favorite Halloween movie? That's fun, right? People like that. What's your favorite Halloween movie? I can do a Halloween playlist for you. Nobody's done a proper Halloween playlist. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have the musical expertise, background to even put together a proper Halloween playlist. They don't know where to go. They don't know where to look. Do you even know that song coming in? Pretty Halloween themed, pretty good. Probably nobody even knows what that is. 3-6 Mafia, Destruction Terror. Yeah, that's a deep cut. I got a lot of them. I got a lot of those. True Halloween genius playlist. We could do that today because that's what we really want to do. We want to deliver to you what nobody else is delivering. But I remember with Savage, when he would do that, I'd be like, okay, what's he going to talk about today? And then he'd tell stories, take phone calls. And, the other learning experience from listening to Michael Savage, and really from anybody, I think, if they're good, he would anger me sometimes because I'd have a different opinion than him, and he'd anger me. And I'd still tune in. I'd still tune in every day. I'd still love him. And I think we're kind of getting into that territory here, as I feel like a lot of us are frustrated with where the administration is going. And again, I don't even want to get into it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not even trying to go there today. But I was having some political debates on X, let's say, and it just kind of reinforces some things. Now, you don't want to, I still think the real world, being out in public and talking to people wherever you go, I still think that is a much better representation of where American politics are at than what you see on X. But yet X is, there's a significant amount of people on X. And, I'd say you can probably get like 10 to 20% maybe. I think maybe 10 to 20%, maybe 25% max of a good picture of where American politics are at on X. I'd say about 20, 25% maybe is fair. You're not getting the full picture, and most people don't even know what's going on there. So 25 might be high, but 10 might be low. But yet there's value there. And I'm having these conversations, and it's just like, one that I'm noticing here is, well, there's this continued attack campaign on me. And people are saying, oh my gosh, what happened to Owen Schroyer? He's gone off the rails. He's gone crazy. He's a loon now. He's this, he's that. And I'm like, do you guys not even remember your own lives? Like, do you not even have your own memories where you just not even there? This whole thing that's happening on the right in American politics is nothing new. The entire thing that we're going through right now has happened before. Now, I can't sit here and say I'm an expert on the original Tea Party movement or Rand Paul or Ross Perot. I wasn't around for these things, but I would imagine it was a very similar phenomenon. The only difference was in 2016, we actually won and got Trump into office. That's the only difference. We were never able to get a Ross Perot or a Ron Paul over the finish line. But you always had, around the election times, you always had that split on the right from true principled conservatives versus just Republicans who just want to react to everything the left does and just say, oh, we're just going to react and do everything against the Democrats. That's your Republican versus true value principle conservatives. And now people don't even know what a conservative is. They don't even know. It's been so bastardized over the years that they can't even define what a conservative is, yet they seem to want to be the voice. They seem to want to be the representation of conservative values, but they can't even define what it is. They can't even recognize it when they see it. So I'm just sitting here saying, hold on a second. We already went through this in 2015 and 2016. And clearly you guys either weren't there or you have forgotten this or you don't understand this. Like, we already beat you. We beat you. You guys are 10 years behind us. We are literally 10 years ahead of you politically. So in 2015 and 2016, you guys all were against Trump. You were all against Trump. You liked Jeb Bush. You liked Ted Cruz. You liked Marco Rubio. I forget who else was on the stage with Trump in 2016 at the debates. No, you guys were anti-Trump. And then you had the bigger names, the bigger publications like the National Reviews, the Daily Wires, the Mark Levins, and so on and so forth, all writing their hit pieces on Trump and telling you why you should never vote for Trump and never support Trump and they'll never support Trump. We supported Trump. We voted for Trump. We beat you. We beat you in the primaries. And then you accepted defeat, and now you are pro-Trump. You're 10 years behind us. So now we're ready to advance. Now we're ready to evolve. Now we're ready to get another first down for the America First movement. Now we're ready to get another first down for actually saving the country. And you guys are 10 years in the past. You guys are 10 years behind us. And again, just like 2015 and 2016, you're attacking us. You're rebuking us. You're trying to cut us out of Republican politics. You're trying to cut us out of conservative circles. There is nothing new here. And you're stunned that it's not working. You're stunned that we're unfazed. You're stunned that we're more powerful than ever. And it's like you don't even remember that we already went through this. Or you don't even, maybe you weren't there in 2015 and 2016, so you couldn't even remember it if you tried because you weren't there. So there is nothing new here. This is not a new split. This is not a new phenomenon. It's the exact same thing that the Republican Party goes through in cycles. The only difference is now we finally beat you. We finally beat you in 2015 and 2016. We took over the party. We took over the ideas. Now, the corrupt right-wing establishment is still in control. But as far as the voters, as far as the grassroots, as far as the movement, as far as the ideology, as far as the policies are concerned, we beat you. And so you're bashing your head. You're freaking out. Why can't we defeat Tucker Carlson? Why can't we defeat Nick Fuentes? Why can't we defeat Owen Schroyer? Because you already lost to us. You think you won because you have this facade of the American politics in front of you. It's still a facade. It's the same facade it was 10 years ago. It's the same facade it was 5 years ago. We see through the facade. We're 10 years ahead of you politically. You guys are swimming in our wake, screaming at us, and we don't care. It doesn't impact us anymore. Our only fear is that you're going to get violent. You're going to weaponize government against us, or you're going to destroy the movement to save America, to make America great again, put America first. You're going to destroy that movement and hurt all the ground we've gained. That's our concern. You have different concerns. But why are we talking to them anyway? It's just, I've just noticed this intensifying. I've noticed this intensifying. Oh, man. You know what? Let me see. Maybe we just bring on. No, I can't bring you on as a guest because I've got the first guest of the show next week. We don't do guests on the show, but maybe I'll let you call in. Maybe I would let you call in and talk trash on Halloween only. Only because it's Halloween, I would let you call in and talk trash. But I can't. The first actual guest of the show has to be somebody special. It's going to be next week. In fact, I'll just tell you, it's going to be Roger Stone. I wanted Roger Stone to be my first guest because he's who I launched my last show with, and we've always been good friends. Coward. You're a coward. Do you want me to call you out right now? You're gonna send me messages talking trash, and then you're gonna be too scared to call into the show. What a coward. I can't say I'm surprised though. But see, this is normal. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is normal. I see these people that are like, what are you so afraid of? Did you not debate or disagree with your friends growing up? Do you not debate and disagree with your friends now? Like, I don't understand this. What is this? I have passionate, heated debate with my friends and family all the time. Totally normal stuff. But now it's like in right-wing politics, it's like, oh my God, you don't think the exact same way that I think? You don't think and say and feel about everything the exact same way that I think and feel and say about everything? Oh my gosh, what's going on? Yeah, well, I'm not in your cult, so I don't know what cult you're in. I'm not in it. And in my world, in my life, outside of your cult, it's very normal to disagree and to debate. It's very normal. And you don't have to hate somebody afterwards. And you can still get along. It's actually very normal to do that. And maybe we should really just lay it out in definite terms for you here. You know, maybe we should just lay it out in definite terms as this, you know, the ongoing debate over foreign policy continues. And it's just like, look, let's just have a fair debate, because I saw Dave Smith and Seth Dillon on Piers Morgan last night. And I don't know if I've ever actually heard Seth Dillon before. You know, I see him on X. I know he's at the Babylon Bee and they do great work. But I don't know if I've actually seen or heard him talk before. And I was like, you know, he seems like a very normal guy. He seems like a very rational guy. He's very passionate about a certain issue. He's very passionate about defense of Jewish Americans. He's probably very pro-Israel. And I'm just saying, I'm like, that's fine, dude. That's your thing. So what? So why do I have to be in your thing? I don't want to be in your thing. And it hit me. It hit me. It's like this. I have no issue. Let's try to be as just all on the same level, just all humans here. We all just want to live free and prosper, right? We all just want to live free and prosper. What do they do in Star Trek? I think they do this or something. Whatever it is. Like, we all just want to be happy. We all just want to be free and prosper. Okay, all right. So we're all okay. So it's like, I can disagree with you. Let's just use Israel. That's the hot topic. All right, fine. We're all sick of it, but it's the hot topic. So let's just use Israel. It's like, all right, I can disagree with you on Israel. My political platform is pro-America. My political personality, a lot of the things I do with my content, everything else, my professional career in politics is driven by my love for America my vision for America's potential, and what I see America, what it means to me, and what I would like to see from it in the future. And so that's what drives me. That's what moves Owen Schroyer through the political abyss, through the political cosmos. Okay. So you might love Israel. You might love Israel. You might be loyal to Israel. Obviously, this is a major phenomenon in America. And we might agree on 95% of things politically, but we might disagree on that. So let's just lay it out. Let's just be fair. Let's just open up. Let's lay it all out there. No hatred, right? No bad feelings here. Let's just lay it all out. Let's just be honest. So it goes like this. Politically speaking, I am probably America only, but I am pro-America, and I am for whatever policy benefits Americans. That's what I'm about. That's what drives me. And if you're in my way, I will crush you politically. Doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean I have anything personal against you. In fact, I can still like you. I can still be friends with you. I can still be friends with your family. We can still hang out. We can still have a great time. We can still get along. In fact, that is normal human behavior. That is normal social activity right there. Hey, we disagree. Dang it, I disagree. I disagree too. Okay, all right. Hey, we'll see you next week. That is normal social activity. But for some reason, that doesn't seem to be mutual. It seems like people don't just want to crush you politically. They want to crush you entirely. They want to destroy your life. They want to destroy your reputation. They want to destroy your privacy. They want to destroy your career. And I'm just sitting here, I'm saying, hey, here's my politics. I love America. I want to see what's best for America. I want to see my vision for the potential of America come to fruition. That's what drives me. And whatever is in my way politically, I will crush, I will destroy. But it doesn't mean I take anything personally, and I have nothing against you personally. But politically, I will destroy you. Simple as that. Simple as that. And as long as that's mutual, then we can disagree in politics and still be friends outside of politics. And I don't know, maybe I'm weird for thinking that's normal. Maybe, but to me, that's normal. To me, that's normal social interactions when it comes to politics, and maybe religion too. Maybe religion. But it hit me. It's like, that's what this is. When two UFC fighters get in the ring to try to kill each other, they shake hands afterwards. So there's supposed to be a little understanding here. There's supposed to be a little sportsmanship maybe here. And it's like, hey, just because we disagree doesn't mean that I hate you. Just because we disagree doesn't mean I want to see you suffer. I just want to defeat you politically. That's all. And so we have a debate, and we see who's more influential. We see who can win over the hearts and minds, and we shake hands and we say good game. But it doesn't seem to be true for everybody. It seems that some people in this game, when they have a disagreement with you, they actually want to see you dead. It seems like some people in this game, when they have a political disagreement with you, they want to see you destroyed personally. Personally, they want to see you suffer. So I can't relate to that, really. I'm having too much fun. I love life way too much. And I guess maybe I don't take myself as seriously. I don't know. That you think you've got it all figured out so much that, anybody that disagrees with you has to be completely destroyed. That's a you thing. I don't relate to that. But this is where I'm at, to just be perfectly clear. It's very clear to me now after these debates. I will crush anyone in my way politically. But I have no problem. I have no problem shaking your hand afterwards. I have no problem breaking bread with you afterwards. I have no problem being friends with you afterwards. None at all. I don't take any of it personally. But politically, I will destroy you. Simple as that. And you know what? The stakes are a lot higher now than they used to be. And the stakes are probably a lot higher now than, say, other social events you might go to that people get a little wound up about, whether it's a pickup basketball game or a poker game with your friends or something else. But to me, it's no different, really, as far as the practice of this is all concerned. You compete, you're competitive, you're passionate, you want to win, but you don't hate your opponent. You don't want to see your opponent suffer. You just want to win the game. That's all. You just want to win the game. And the moment you cross that threshold and you harbor that hate, that's what drives you to wanting to see your opponent dead. But I can't relate to that. I can't relate to that. So, I don't know. I'd like to see everybody get along, you know? I'd like to, maybe I should drop the heated political discussions and try to be the peacemaker, you know, bringing people together who have disagreements, signing peace deals in the political media. I think maybe I could do that. I'd like to see that. And I think it'd be good for everybody. But what would I do with you? What would I do with you? You're gonna send me a text and tell me I'm ugly and we all know you're lying. And then I ask you to call in and you won't do it. But you want me to say your name, so I'm not going to give you the pleasure because I know how you operate. All right. I guess I'll do some news. What are people saying in the chat? I don't even look at the chat. It's too distracting now. What are people saying? Oh, an olive branch Schroyer. There you go, Isabel. Yep. I like that. Maybe I'll just dress up as an olive branch this Halloween. Huh? Here we go. Judges, actually, I think this was the one from earlier. Oh, no, they updated the Newsweek story, too. Judges rule Trump administration must continue to fund SNAP amid shutdown. This is crazy. Imagine thinking that SNAP is more important to fund than paying our military or paying our air traffic controllers. Imagine being that delusional. Who are these judges? Let's find out. 2 federal judges ruled today. This is your Halloween horror of the day. 2 federal judges ruled that President Donald Trump's administration must continue to fund supplemental nutritional assistance program during the government shutdown using contingency funds. This is insane. Imagine you have an emergency fund for your family. And that's all you have. Times are tough. And you've got this emergency fund. And then someone says, hey, you're going to have to donate your entire emergency fund to charity. It's basically what these judges are saying. Oh, you have to fund SNAP, and you have to go into the USDA to do it. This is going to get nasty. Now, this will probably fail. This judge has failed before trying to stop Trump's policies, so I'm guessing this will fail again. But it's another leftist activist on the bench. All right, who are these judges? I've got this name. I haven't seen the second name. U.S. District Judge Indira Talwani. You think she was born here? An appointee of former President Barack Obama today ruled that the Trump administration must continue funding SNAP during the government shutdown. Where's the other judge? See, they wrote this story, actually. They published this story before the second judge came out. Maybe the Fox story has it. 2 judges rule administration must keep SNAP benefits in place, blah, blah, blah. Federal judge, Massachusetts. I keep getting the same name. I keep getting the Talwani here. Where is the other judge? Moments later, Rhode Island. John McConnell. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. All right, let's look into who these judges are. You want to do this? On this Halloween spooktacular. Judge Indira Talwani. Place your bets now. Where she was born. Place them. Get them in before it's too late. Let's go. Snap, snap. Judge John McConnell. That's an American, right? That guy's definitely born in America. Let's see here. What do we know about John McConnell? Okay. Rhode Island District Judge, nominated by Obama, 2011. Brown University. Okay. Doesn't seem, other than just being an Obama judge, I don't know why, I don't know where he comes into play here. I guess what you have is just a Rhode Island liberal. Just a Rhode Island liberal deciding that he's going to step in and force Americans to pay for welfare. All right, John. Nice to know where you stand. Oh, Indira has a whole nother thing going on. You go. Oh, yes. Hi. You're here to, you're the witch in the haunted house, right? Yeah, witch in the haunted house. You go around back, you're brooming, you're a district judge? Sorry, I had you confused. We're waiting for our witch to show up. My bad. Massachusetts liberal. Oh! Well, her parents are from Punjab, India. She was born in New Jersey, though. Radcliffe College and University of California, Berkeley. There it is. That's where she got her law degree. Cal Berkeley, classic. Appointed by Obama in 2013. Indira Talwani. All right, guys. They want you to. I think it's time to just shut the whole thing down. You know, can we get some Republican momentum behind just shutting it all down? Can we do that? Just end all the welfare, end all the foreign aid. Is that so hard? That would be the conservative thing to do, by the way. That's what conservatives. By the way, flight delays all day today. Where are the judges trying to get air traffic control back to work? What do you think's more important? The SNAP benefits or air traffic control? Maybe it's a fair question. Is it more important for the U.S. government to keep the charity open, or is it more important for the U.S. government to keep air travel going? What do you think? Now, if SNAP was actually if this program was actually used for its purpose and not abused, then maybe you could make a fair argument and say it's very important that we keep people fed. All right, I'm not inhumane here, okay? I'm not totally stone cold here. I'm not iced and, I'm not ice cold. I'm kind of cold though. I'm a little cold-blooded. But if SNAP wasn't used and abused like it is, then maybe you would have a debate. But because the SNAP welfare program is so abused, it's like I can't hear the debate. Get air traffic control. If there's a priority here, I want the flights on time. If there's a priority here, I want air traffic moving. If there's a priority here, I want the people that are actually productive in this country, that actually inject into the economy, that actually work. I want them taken care of before the charity cases. Sorry. Virginia Governor hopeful Winsome Earl Sears campaign bus caught on fire. It's like a scene right out of the Jim Crow era here when Democrats used to burn black people's properties. So you get a little taste of it. Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears' campaign bus burst into flames while the Republican gubernatorial candidate was driving to a campaign event ahead of Election Day. You can see the bus here with her face engulfed in flames. This is what it used to be like when the Democrats were, they were openly racist. Now they're just closet racists. This is the type of stuff you would see when the Democrats were honest about their racist that they're harboring. A scene right out of classic Democrat Party politics here. Firefighter was injured taking it out, but everybody is safe now. First responders came quickly. The bus driver was the only person on board at the time. They're not even saying what happened here. They're not even telling you what happened here. It looks like Democrat Party politics to me. It has all the signs of Democrat Party politics here to me. I don't know how often buses burst into flames. Maybe more often than a consumer vehicle, perhaps. But yeah, that I can't help but think Democrat Party politics on that deal. That's what comes to my mind. Shiloh Marks. Now, this individual has been doing a lot of investigating on voter fraud lately, specifically in California. Look at what he comes across here. This is pretty crazy. LA County and Gavin Newsom are using ineligible, inactive, moved out-of-state voters with mail-in ballots in the Prop 50 special election. So they're just blatantly cheating in California. And if you go down here, he's using one reference that you can see on the screen. If you go down here, other people have looked into this and they found out it's true. Like this account, I haven't lived at this address or California in years, but it has a mail-in ballot status. It has sent out a mail-out. It has sent out a ballot. They know exactly what they're doing, folks. So it's up and down on this thread. If you go follow Shiloh Marks here. Gavin Newsom cheating in California? No. Not the honorable. And then Rasmussen reports, this is a more detailed review. October 30th revised tea leaves timeline. Based upon the below report, DOJ arrived at Dominion with bad news, encouraged to quietly sell certain assets were sold in September. Liabilities and any criminal charges stay with the sellers. Asset buyer already decommissioning CCC impacted machines. Here's the audio. Crooked state seethe, but contracts require EAC certification. Impossible with CCP infected machines. U.S. military initiates covert kinetic activity in Venezuela. All right, now we'll get into the new stuff, but here's a quick background. Because a lot of this stuff just kind of ends up blurring into the abyss. But wasn't there some fire at their server base where all the data was, and then it was magically on fire and they lost all this data that they were trying to trace and track where potential cyber attacks or cyber influence was happening in 2020, and then all the data burned in a fire and they lost it all? I'm just remembering that. Where was that? And all of this is becoming new because Harmeet Dillon is now talking about this. Arctic frost disclosures of DOJ and judiciary criminality prepare voting public for worse news ahead. November 2025 elections run without foreign interference. Tabulation closely scrutinized by DOJ. Arctic frost disclosures of wrongdoing even get worse then. Tulsi Gabbard publishes report showing CCP inside machines. The story of the machines and who ran them and for how long triggers enormous public outcry. The usual suspect, the usual useless politicos claim no prior knowledge and fumigate on Fox News. By the way, folks, China probably didn't want Trump in there. You understand? The Justice Department brings criminal charges against a wide range of co-conspirators, including key public officials. Whistleblowers from around the world are already here in U.S. witness protection and available to make court appearances as needed. 64% of voters who distrust machine climbs to 94%. 2026 elections utilize paper ballots as primary evidence of votes. September 2025, nearly 2/3 of voters suspect electronic voting machines may be vulnerable to online manipulation. Now, look, anybody that knows Rasmussen's polling here, they're amongst, if not the best, when it comes to political polls. And they were probably the most accurate of all major pollsters in the 2024 election results. And they do other political issues as well that I view them as the most accurate pollsters out there. So it's like when you look at like a poly market, that's kind of more organic people movement polls type of a thing, which can get you a better result than rigged polls. But I think if you look at just polls purely, I think Rasmussen Reports probably puts out the best. So, all right, so you've got all this going on. So Harmeet Dillon comes out, and she's starting to talk about the anomalies in 2020. This is this week, Harmeet Dillon, part of the Trump administration. And she's talking about the hearings in Georgia and everywhere else. And I reposted one of her posts because I'm like, this is so huge. And I don't hear anybody else in the administration talking about it. I don't. Now, I don't know where else it would come from. I mean, maybe Pam Bondi. You might expect an attorney general to take interest if an election was stolen, but I don't know. I'm not sure where Pam Bondi is at. I don't know if Pam Bondi knows where Pam Bondi is at half the time. Maybe she's looking for her desk. Everybody's looking for her desk. Seems to be a fool's errand. Nobody can find her desk. Nobody knows where her desk is. But so Harmeet Dillon comes out and says this. Now, I think I actually talked about this earlier this week, briefly. But I'm sitting here and I'm saying, okay. If you want to try to mend this divide, if you want to try to bridge this gap in the right, you want to try to mend some of these wounds with the foreign policy disagreements right now and the name calling and the accusations and everything flying back and forth. It's like, what, if you actually wanted, even if it was just momentarily, because I think that's all it could be now anyway. You wanted to corral the Trump base. You wanted to get another unified movement to push something through. This would be it. The 2020 stolen election would be it. And the work has already been done. That's what's so crazy about it. The work has already been done. They already had the hearings in 5 states. They already presented the evidence. They already had the lawyers. They already had the whistleblowers in 5 states. All the work has already been done. The biggest problem I think we had at the time, which I guess you could say is ironic because it's kind of the same divide now. The biggest problem that you had at that time was that the conservative Republican establishment did not want to say the 2020 election was stolen. So some of you may remember this very clearly, others maybe not. But if you go back, the conservative right-wing Republican establishment did not want to say the election was stolen. In fact, they were bullied into rejecting that it was stolen. Do you remember that? So they tried to have this happen. Again, and you can look at the dividing lines. It was the same people that supported Trump in 2015 and 2016 versus those that were anti-Trump then. And then in 2020, the same people that supported Trump in 2015 and 2016 said the election was stolen. And the people that didn't support him said, no, it wasn't. Stop saying that. You're a conspiracy theorist. Now here you are in 2025. It's a different issue, but it's the same dividing line. But just like all those people now agree with us that Trump was the better candidate and won, now all those people agree with us that the election was stolen in 2020. So again, we're leading here. They're following us. We're leading. But now they're willing to say it was stolen. Now all the voices on the right, Con Inc., all of it, establishment right, all of it. Now all of them are willing to say that 2020 was stolen. They weren't then. They were not then, and they were punishing you if you did. Just look at Tucker Carlson. Oh, another name in the fray again. Isn't that funny? It's the same dividing line. It's the same dividing line of people on the right that I guess you could say are still brainwashed. I don't know how else to put it. It's like the brainwashed right versus the actual free thinking right might be the best way to put it. But they all agree with us on Trump now, and they all agree with us on the 2020 election now. So if you wanted to find something to bring everybody together and unite the right, if that was a cause that you wanted to take up from this administration, the 2020 election would be it. The work has already been done. But I'm not hearing anybody talk about it outside of Harmeet Dillon. So Godspeed, Harmeet. I hope you bring this to Trump's desk and say, you know what, President Trump, I'd like to take up this project and I'd like to relitigate the 2020 election. And I don't really know. I don't know what the results should be. I don't know what results we're looking for here, but we're going to look into it again. And we're going to make sure the American people understand loud and clear what happened in 2020. And we're going to make sure it never happens again, Mr. President. And if we catch some big criminals along the way, then so be it. But this is about discovering the truth of what happened in 2020 and making sure it never happens again. And I'd like to lead that, Mr. President. I could see Harmeet Dillon doing that, and she's the only person talking about it. And this could even our great friend Dinesh D'Souza, who's been cast into the fray again. To Dinesh's credit, it's really just because he likes to debate, and he doesn't run away from debate. So of course he's going into the fray on these divisive issues. But bring Dinesh in, and now we can all like Dinesh again. And he can say, yes, here's how they stole 2020. Here's all my evidence. I would be glad to testify. And now we can celebrate Dinesh. So that's the issue. If you want to mend the right wing at least for a moment, so that so they can move forward, that would be the cause. Expose the 2020 election being stolen. Make sure every American understands it, and then make sure whatever led to that never happens again. It's really that simple. And I think you could probably even make the argument that it's necessary. You have to do that. So I'd like to see that happen. And maybe Harmeet Dillon. Maybe she's the one to do it. All right. I got this. It's like the news. Just news. More news. All right. Let's cover this one before we close out the hour. Let's go ahead. Gayle King expected to depart as CBS Mornings anchor amid CBS News overhaul. Mainstay of network's morning show may shift to a different role as contract expiration approaches in May. How long has Gayle King been on the air? I'm no fan of Gayle King, but she's kind of a staple there. Let me see. I mean, she's got to be 20 years, right? She's got to be decades. She's 70 years old. Well, Gayle King looks good for 70, huh? What are you up to, Gayle? Come on, Gayle. Tell us your secrets. See if they have it. They don't have it in this story. She's obviously a leftist. She's obviously a liberal. Let's see here. NBC News has discovered this challenge twice over the years. Audiences didn't warn. She's going to 1989, 2012. Oh, you know who she used to work with? Oh, my gosh. Are you ready for this? Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer. Whatever happened to old Matt Lauer with the Dr. Evil lockbox button when you come into his office? Whatever happened to old Rat Lauer? Remember that deal? So let's see. I mean, it looks like they're trying to get rid of some of these leftists at CBS. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's pretty obvious now what what Barry Weiss is going to try to do with CBS. Because right now, Fox News kind of has a monopoly as far as network news is concerned and right-wing viewership. Now, I want to give OAN actually a lot of credit here. And obviously, OAN doesn't put up the numbers that Fox does. Nobody does. But, I got to give OAN a lot of credit because they really probably have the most diverse team. They probably have the most diverse on-air team. And you really get a wide range of opinions on One America Newsnet. You really do. You really do. But they're never able to compete with Fox News. And, I mean, you could say OAN is right-wing, but it doesn't really brand itself right-wing. It brands itself as American Patriots. And it kind of, I think through osmosis gets branded as, the pro-Trump network. But I got to give OAN a lot of credit. So when I talk about Fox News having a stranglehold on the network news for conservatives, I don't really think I count OAN. So it's really just Fox News. So what Barry Weiss, I think, is trying to do, and who knows what role Ellison might play in all of this, I think she's trying to turn CBS into the right-wing network. Obviously, you've got NBC, ABC, and CBS. Those are your big, and I guess you could say Fox. But I don't know, does Fox do any network night news? No, they do local stuff and then TV shows. So if you want news, you go to the Fox News Network, not your local affiliate. But CBS has the local affiliates too, and NBC, but everybody kind of leans left. So I think what Weiss is going to try to do here, the $150 million woman, she's going to try to turn CBS into the right-wing terrestrial TV network. I think that's what she's going to try to do. And so slowly but surely, you'll see the Stephen Colberts and the Gayle Kings and everybody else go away while she brings in right-wing people. Now, this is what's going to become interesting because obviously Barry Weiss is very pro-Israel. So my guess is they want to keep it very pro-Israel at the same time. And so the real reasoning here might be if these leftists aren't pro-Israel or they're anti-Israel, then they've got to go. And we all know the left, if there's any political body that is more opposing of Israel, it's still probably the left. And you could say that that's changing. But that's what's going to be interesting. Can you have a right-wing conservative news network without that coupling and demanding support for Israel? I doubt that would be Barry Weiss to bring in that. But I do think that that's what she's trying to do at CBS. I think Barry Weiss wants to make CBS the right-wing terrestrial network station because there just isn't one. You have Fox News, but that's a cable network. So I think that's what's going on. Now, here's where it gets interesting with Gayle King. I couldn't find when she joined. You know what? This is what AI is for. I don't really. Here we go. So Gayle King has been hosting that show for 13 years. So pretty good run, Gayle. 13 years she's been hosting that show. So she's been a staple there. So that is not an insignificant development. So here you go. Ousted CBS News staffer takes to TikTok to accuse network of race-based layoffs. Trey Sherman served as an associate producer of CBS Evening News, which was gutted by Paramount. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's trying to go right with it. She's definitely trying to go right with it. The former producer is accusing the network of race-based layoffs. Every producer on my team, this is what ex-staffer Trey Sherman said. I just got laid off from my job at CBS, and every producer on my team who got laid off is a person of color. Every person who gets to stay and will be relocated within the company is a white person. Sherman, who is black, served as an associate producer for the CBS streaming program CBS Evening News since February, according to his LinkedIn page, and also worked as an associate producer for CBS Race and Culture Unit. Oh, what the hell is that? Both of which were gutted as part of the layoffs. Well, yeah. I don't think Barry Weiss is interested in maintaining the CBS Race and Culture Unit. And I'm guessing that if everybody from that unit was let go, I think we now understand where the discrimination accusations are stemming from here. Sherman claimed the executive who informed him was being laid off said he did everything he could to relocate staff, but ultimately couldn't. Oh my God. It wasn't until I went downstairs. I got to get this is the Halloween horror story. Let's get some here. Talking. CBS layoffs. The racist CBS. CBS is firing black people Now that there's new ownership of CBS, and Ellison has brought in Barry Weiss to make massive changes, accusations of race-based firings are being hurled across the CBS spectrum. One man, in particular, Trey Sherman, a black man, who worked in CBS's Race and Culture unit, is accusing the network of race-based layoffs. He told the media, "It wasn't until I went downstairs thinking that me and all of my colleagues had been laid off that I found out that it was only the people of color. So I went one by one to my white colleagues. Are you getting laid off? No. Are you getting laid off? No. Are you getting laid off? No. Are you getting laid off? No." So I went back up to his office and I told him I think he lied to my face. And come to find out, it was not his decision to eliminate the show that I worked for, but he did get to decide who got to stay. So I told him, "You said you couldn't get us relocated, only to find out that you were able to get some people relocated, and they all happen to be white. Am I supposed to believe that that is a coincidence?" And he just said, "Yes." Well, you know what? I actually do have a response for this. I do. I have a response for this. And I'm not sure everybody's going to like it. But I do actually have a response for this. And that response is, I do actually prefer my news network anchors and producers to be white. I do. But hold on now. I'm equal opportunity here, because even though I prefer my news networks to be white, I definitely prefer my coffee to be black. Specifically, my Blackout Coffee from blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. So see, I promote that. I like my coffee. Blackout Coffee. So we're equal here. We're all even. Everything is square, right? Nothing wrong. By the way, I'm getting my friends hooked, folks. I'm getting my friends hooked on Blackout Coffee, specifically the instant coffee. It's the best. And somebody gave me a hard time, and it was fair. It was fair, because I'm a bit neurotic with what I consume. I'm a bit neurotic about my diet and what I eat and what I drink. And I was promoting the coffee pods that Blackout Coffee has. And I'm not perfect, all right? I admit it, but somebody was giving me some trouble. They said, "Really?" They said, "Really? You're drinking blueberry crumble coffee pods? Really? You're drinking candy cane coffee pods? Really? You're doing that? Come on, Owen. I know you better than that." And I said, "Well, you know what? Sometimes when I'm drinking coffee, I just want it to be quick. I want it to taste good, just for a cup. And so, yes, I will do a coffee pod from Blackout Coffee, like a blueberry crumble, like a pumpkin spice. It's seasonal. I will do that." But they called me out on it. They said that they didn't believe me, but it is true. But really, I'm really promoting the instant coffee. That's the one. That's the one. If I need a quick cup of coffee, I don't want to make a pot. I don't want to deal with making a pot, cleaning a pot, dealing with all of that. The instant coffee, bing. Best instant coffee on the market. Premium instant coffee, blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. 20% off your first order. Just plug in coupon code Owen at checkout. And this is for a guy that likes a dark roast like me. This is a medium roast instant coffee, and I still love it. So that's how good it is. I'm telling you. And you know, if you've ever drank instant coffee, it usually tastes watered down. Sometimes you have to do two of the helping that they recommend just to get the flavor. It's kind of, it stays like there's particulate in it. It doesn't really break down. None of that happens with Blackout's instant coffee. None of it. Trust me. None of it. But yes, if you are into the single-serve coffee pods, which, hey, you know what? Everybody's got the coffee machine that makes them. Why not? It's also convenient. They do got the flavors for you. The cherry jelly donut. No ratings on this, so this must be the new one. No ratings on the cherry jelly donut yet. You could be the first to put a review there. They got 1 review on the new salted caramel mocha. They got a 5-star review there. So, but they do have my favorite, the pitch black espresso. They do have my favorite in the pod, so that's what I like the most. But hey, if you want to change it up, double dark chocolate, can't go wrong with that. Banana Foster, can't go wrong with that. If you're feeling seasonal, if you're feeling in the spirit, how about a Highlander grog? How about a pumpkin spice? How about a peppermint mocha? Winter Wonderland, eggnog, candy cane. It's ridiculous how many they got. So if you're feeling seasonal, feeling a little sweet, the hazelnut cream, everybody loves the hazelnut. They got it all at blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. Use coupon code Owen for 20% off your first order. Thanks to our friends at Blackout Coffee, the official coffee of the Owen Report. All right, we got 1 hour down. We got another hour coming up. Producer Dominic has not entered the studio, so I don't know if he's going to be. He might not make it today. He might not make it today. No, I don't drink any beer. I see your comment. I actually don't drink any beer. I don't know the last time I drank a beer, to be honest. Not a beer drinker. I liked beer. I drank a lot of beer when I was in my 20s, probably too much beer. I don't really like beer these days. I don't know. Not a fan. Not a fan of beer. So, but that's just me. Oh, you know what? Oh, I got something for you. Hold on a second. They're probably going to hit us for this. A producer, Dominic, we're going to get hit for this, but I'm doing it anyway. Sorry, I've got to. So, hold on. Let me do this right. Let me do this right. Yeah. I don't know. You may not know this. I just figured this out myself a couple weeks ago. So you may not know this. We got a little Halloween treat. For you. But let's actually do right. Hit the reset button. First hour in the book. Second hour starts now.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
On the cutting edge of news and analysis, the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
This is the Ghostbusters. By who? Walk the Moon? What? They've done it. They did it.
Who you gonna call?
Somebody did it. They took a perfect song, the Ghostbusters theme song, and they made it better. Walk the Moon did a remix of the Ghostbusters theme song, and they killed it. They knocked it out of the park. Nobody can ever do it again. It's the best song they ever written. It's the best song they ever performed. Ghostbusters by Walk the Moon. Who had that on their Halloween bingo card? We're always delivering for you. Always.
Who can you call? There's an invisible man sleeping in your bed. Who you gonna call?
See any ghosts today?
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
See any ghosts out here? I saw a ghost. Judge Talwani. Judge Talwani is a ghost. I saw a ghost in the news today. I saw a ghost in the news today, guys. Jeffrey Epstein's ghost. You're welcome. That's Walk the Moon. That's a Walk the Moon remix of the Ghostbusters. Did you know that? They just killed that song. Hold on, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Jeffrey Epstein and the Mossad. How the sex trafficker helped Israel build a back channel to Russia amid the Syrian civil war. All right, now, Some of this you might be surprised by. Some of it you might not be surprised by. Most of it is already kind of mainstream Jeffrey Epstein lore, if you will. But there was one thing in this story that, if it is true, is wild. Apparently, and it's no secret now that Jeffrey Epstein and Ehud Barak, however it's pronounced, had a tight relationship. That's no secret, and they've been seen associating, and everybody knows that. Now, the claim that's made in this story is that Baruch was working with Epstein, and Epstein was actually the real gatekeeper between Baruch and the Mossad. So, in other words, apparently what it sounds like is that Ehud Baruch was answering and reporting to Epstein, not the Mossad. And then Epstein would be the one that would be the gateway between Barak and the Mossad. Again, whether you believe it or not, I don't know. That's the claim that's made in this story. That is wild. That is just absolutely wild. And so that kind of tells you what Epstein's role really was. He was more than just an intelligence asset. He was the intelligence captain, if that's the case. So it wasn't, Epstein was an asset of Mossad. It was no. Epstein was higher on the totem pole than Mossad. That's the claim that's being made in that story, at least. Whoa! Sorry about that. Halloween horror here. Whoa! All right, what do we got here? What do we have? Are they going to riot this weekend? Are we going to have food riots this weekend? Let's see here. We got a guy. This gentleman wants to organize a food riot, I think. You want to go get you go walk out? You want to get the 5-finger discount on a frozen pizza from Walmart?
Hey, y'all, quit panicking, man. We black, we white, we Chinese. We done been through this shit before. You know what I'm saying? We done been broke. Hey, it ain't nothing to it. November 3rd, stamps will be getting cut off. I need everybody to meet me at Walmart, 6:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30. We walking out that thing. Fill your buggy up, man. Run. Just get ready to run. You know what I'm saying? Have your car parked a block away. As long as you can run a block, we can get away. So look, quit panicking. It's going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Put your running shoes on. November 3rd, 6:30. Hey, man, meet me at Walmart, Myers, whichever one close to y'all. So we gonna get it going, man. They want to see we gonna stick together. We got to show them, hey, we going to stick together and we going to run together. So, hey, man, get it together.
All right. Now, obviously, I don't support this. This is promoting criminal activity. I wouldn't be too quick to assume this man's politics, however. And you have to be able to try to interpret stuff like this outside of the box. Because the box and the bubble that you're in the political world is actually a lot smaller than you think. And so there's a couple angles here that I want to cover that nobody else is mentioning. One of them I cover all the time, which is that the American media and really the Trump administration seems to cover up the fact that the U.S. economy is in a really bad place right now. It is not in a good place. And I would say that this is kind of a prime time example right here. If people are about to go hungry, now let's just take this at face value, because I agree that these people are not going to go hungry. This is not a hunger crisis as it's being framed up by the left. This is not a hunger crisis, but there are people that rely on these food stamps to fill their refrigerators that might have serious problems. They might have serious problems. But most of SNAP is probably just abused anyway. But let's just think outside of the box. So when you have $8 billion a month for food subsidies so that people can eat, you do not have a good economy. In fact, you have a very bad economy. Okay. And so if we're looking at something this weekend where people are saying, I'm not going to be able to eat because I don't have my SNAP benefits, then you have a bad economy. Okay? If people can't afford to have basic necessities like food, then you have a bad economy. So now think about it from this angle. If you are a corrupt establishment, if you are a corrupt power system, how do you keep the people at bay? How do you keep them from revolting? How do you keep them from uniting and overturning the corrupt political system that is against them and keeps them down? Well, everybody knows it. Bread and circus. Bread and circus. So you keep them fed, you keep them entertained. So how much of this SNAP benefits program, how much of this welfare state is based off of keeping the truth about the state of the American economy at bay and keeping the lower class at bay so that they don't revolt? How much of this is at play here? Now ask yourself, I think it's a fair question. If you knew, let's say 1 million people, if you knew 1 million people were going to riot tomorrow, if you knew there were going to be 1 million people food rioting tomorrow, would you sign legislation to have government subsidies to keep them fed? Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? I'm open for debate here. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not taking a stance. I'm just looking at this from a different angle that I don't see anybody else covering in the media. So it's easy to sit here and say, oh, look at these criminals, or, oh, I stand against welfare. Hey, I'm right there with you. I don't want any welfare, and I don't promote criminal activity. So I'm right there with you. Okay, these are obvious. These are givens, I would say. But let's look outside of the box. Let's not assume any politics about these people. If you're a corrupt power structure, you have to deliver the bread and circus. As soon as people go hungry, they revolt. As soon as people revolt, there's massive political change. So how much of this welfare state is just based off of keeping the people that would be revolting and changing the system at bay? Would you support that if that was the case? But isn't the real story here the economy? And if the economy isn't delivering for the American people, then guess what? You got a problem, and you're going to have a revolt. So do they use these things to just keep people at bay? Do they use these things to keep the slaves down, keep them fed, keep them entertained so that they don't change anything? So what happens? What happens if there's food riots this weekend? Now, again, this is all... Is it even fair to call them food riots? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Because even though I agree the U.S. economy is bad, I don't think you're at a point where these people would actually starve. And they might not want to give up some of the things that they like, whether it's as innocuous as going to the movies or having your streaming subscriptions, whatever. Or if it's as, let's say, not so innocent as having a drug addiction, wanting to buy drugs, whatever. They don't want to stop spending that money so that they can feed themselves. So it's not a situation that they want to be in, so they get the government benefits. But they could probably put down a nasty habit. They could probably put aside spending for entertainment and still feed themselves. So again, it's signs of a bad economy, but that's just the case. So, but I don't think it's fair to call it food riots. Now, it'll be the left will say these are food riots. The right will say these are criminal liberals. But I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I don't think either side will be right. I don't think this is a food riot, and I don't think this is just criminal liberals going out and looting. What I think is they're lying about the state of the economy. They've been kind of able to cover up the true state of the economy with welfare programs like this so that there aren't food riots and revolts. But now you're going to kind of get a little bit of both. So it's like, yeah, we've got plenty of food in America. That's not the problem. There is an abundance of food in this country. In fact, it's kind of a sick cultural thing. If you look around the world, it's actually kind of a disgusting cultural thing that we have in America, that we throw away food. Food expires on grocery shelves regularly here. We have too much food. So there's no food crisis per se. These aren't food riots per se. This is a bad economy and a lower class. It's the cover up of a bad economy, and it's keeping a lower class on government subsidies so that they don't revolt. So that's what's really going on. Now, you're not going to see this anywhere. Nobody's going to talk like this in the media. The right will say it's the left committing crimes, and the left will say it's the right denying people food. That's how this is going to play out should this all go down this weekend. But the truth is, they're covering up the true state of the economy, and they're trying to keep people at bay with these government subsidies. And there is no food shortage. There is no food shortage. There's an economic access shortage is what there is. So I don't know. I don't know what happens this weekend. I hope there's no riots or whatever happens. Obviously, I hope that isn't the case. But should that be the case, what you're witnessing is a lower class revolting. They're not starving. There's no shortage of food. They're revolting. And you kept them from revolting because you were giving them free food. You kept them from revolting because it was the bread and circus. But now if there's going to be a shortage of bread, they're going to revolt. So that's what this is. This is just another sign. This is just another symptom of how corrupt our country is, how corrupt our economy is, how corrupt our political system is. That's the truth of this. This isn't a left-right, let's label this one thing and then run with the narrative in the headlines. No. This is the reality of where our economy is at. It's not good. This is the reality of where lower class people feel completely disenfranchised from the system to such a degree that they want to go out and riot and steal stuff because they feel like they're victims of a corrupt country. So that's the real story. It's not going to be told that way, but that's the real story. Now, we'll see if this actually goes down this weekend. And that's why, look, I don't want to see this, but if you're an accelerationist, then you probably want to see this because it's going to force a response. You might like the response, you might not, but it's going to force a reaction. Now, I'm surprised that the Democrats aren't in panic mode right now, to be honest. And Mike Johnson and John Thune, they kind of play the political football game of blaming it on the Democrats or whatever. People don't care. They don't care. Nobody cares about Mike Johnson. Nobody cares about John Thune. Nobody listens to them. They don't give a damn. That's just them playing politics for the media and whatever. But Trump has been, I think, smart to be quiet about this. I think Trump has been busy, but he could easily make a statement if he wanted, like he did about Nigeria today, which is just hilarious. Maybe I'll get into that. But I think Trump is smart to stay silent on this and to just wait and see what happens. And I'm actually surprised the Democrats aren't in panic mode right now to reopen it, because I do think ultimately this probably hurts the Democrats more than anything. I do. Because most of these people that are receiving these benefits are probably already Democrats. Most of the people that are actually hurting from the shutdown are probably mostly Democrats. And I don't think it's a political thing to keep it shut down because the Democrats are the ones doing it. So they're hurting their own constituents. Now they're trying to blame the Republicans, but that's not going to change anything. These people don't vote Republican anyway. So it's not going to change anything. I think this will hurt the Democrats. That's what I think. And should anybody decide to get interested enough to actually look at why they're not getting their SNAP benefits, they'll probably find out it's Chuck Schumer. They'll probably find that out. And if that happens, say in the next week, what do you think is going to happen next? Oh, you're going to get your John Fettermans. You're going to get all these people. They're going to be ready. They're going to say, hey, let's vote. Let's reopen the government. They're blaming this on us. I got an election coming up, and they're blaming this shutdown on us, and they're rioting, and they're complaining that they're not getting their SNAP benefits, and now they know it's our fault. I'm voting. We're reopening, Chuck. And I bet you then you'll get 10 Democrats to vote. So I would say this is actually the first sign I've seen that now I could actually see the government reopening soon. This is the first sign I've seen. If they go out and they protest, this is the first time. And then, I mean, strategically as the Republicans, now I might just keep it closed. And just say, you know what? We tried, but these are Democrat voters. And you know what? We tried to get it open for you guys, but now we got to, now everything's changed. Now we want a new deal. Now we're going to do a little bit differently here now that you guys are desperate and you're blaming this on you. So we're actually going to have a new deal for you now. Yeah. Or if they really wanted to act like conservatives, which is very rare inside the Republican Party, if they really wanted to act like conservatives, they would just say, you know what? We're ending SNAP benefits. It's over. Sorry, it's done. I'd say that is a highly unlikely outcome. But that's what they would do if they were going to be true conservatives. This is the first real thing that could actually change this government shutdown. If they do get out and they protest or riot this weekend, this will be it, which is kind of sad because you're going to hear a lot about flight delays that are already happening today. You're going to hear a lot about flight delays and problems with the air traffic control. And God forbid, let's hope there's no, crashes or anything. But to me, that's way more important to get covered than the welfare benefits. But I'd say if this heats up and you actually see this this weekend, this will be the first sign that we're moving towards opening the government, because I think the Democrats will come back panicked. That's what I think. I think they'll come back panicked and they'll try to do everything they can to open the government. All right, Wanda Sykes is being attacked today for being racist. Let's hear what old Wanda had to say.
I'm gonna be up front with you. If when it comes to a position and I look on the paper and they right there, or she might be right here, and he's up there, I'm hiring the woman, and that's just how I operate. And I'm be honest with you, if she's a black woman, you got the job. Girl, you got the job. I'm gonna be up front with you. If when it comes to a position and I gotta
say, I appreciate Miss Sykes' honesty there. I really do appreciate that, Wanda. And you know what? As a white man that obviously you would discriminate against in the hiring process, as a white man, I say good for you. I say good for you. You can hire whoever you want. If you don't want to hire a single white person, then you know what? I think that's just fine. And I don't think the government should step in at all. I think you should be allowed to make whatever decision you want with your company. That's what I believe. So if you don't want to hire a single white person and you only want to hire somebody based off their skin color, I say go ahead. Say it should be perfectly legal. Go ahead. Now, it's not. That's actually illegal hiring practices these days. And it's obviously discriminatory, but I think it should be legal. But aside from that, it's funny to hear it out loud, isn't it? Because obviously, if I came out and said, you know what, I've decided I'm going to expand the World Independent News Network. I'm deciding to expand the WIN Network. I'm going to hire 4 people, but they're all going to be white, and they're all going to be men. I'm only hiring white men. Well, good Lord, can you imagine? Can you imagine? But, Wanda Sykes can come out and say that, the opposite, and it's just fine. And I support her, by the way. I mean that. I totally support her. But what I think another strangeness here is like, okay, she basically just said, and this is why things are so screwed up right now. She basically just said, I will hire a black woman who is unqualified instead of a white person who is extraordinary. That's what she just said. Again, fine, Wanda. That's fine with me. You hire whoever you want as far as I'm concerned. But think about that. We're going to hire people that are not qualified for the job based off of race. Well, where do you think it goes? This is how society crumbles. This is how civilization falls apart. This is how bridges collapse. This is how infrastructure rots. So I don't really care about the whole race thing. I don't care. You can hire whoever you want. If you don't want white people working for you, fine, go ahead. Don't hire a white person. Don't care. But see, when you're talking about I'm only hiring based off race, and I would rather hire an unqualified individual than an extraordinary individual of a different skin color. See, now you're getting into why so many things are going wrong in this country. Now you get into why things are starting to fall apart, and you kind of go around, you're like, what the hell is wrong with stuff? This is why. Because people with the mindset of Wanda hire unqualified people. And then things deteriorate. And then things collapse. So that's the real problem here, in my eyes. It's not the race thing. It's not the discrimination hiring, discriminatory practices in hiring. I don't care about that. I think that's all BS. That should all be legal. It's the fact that you would rather hire somebody that can't even do the job based off their skin color than hiring somebody who's extraordinary at the job because they have the wrong skin color. That's the problem, because that's bad for society, that's bad for civilization, and that's bad for a country. So that's what's really bad about this. That's what's really dangerous about this, in my eyes. Not the racial aspect. It's the we're not going to hire the best person for the job aspect. All right, NASA is investigating Kim Kardashian's orbs. NASA needs to find out why there's so much gravitational pull around Kim Kardashian's butt. NASA hits back at Kim Kardashian's moon landing conspiracy. They wanted to set the record straight because Kim Kardashian says that the moon landing was fake. And so NASA says, Kim, it is totally real. In fact, we've been there 6 times. NASA acting administrator Sean Duffy said on social media. Are you sure, Sean? Are you sure about that? See, here this is the problem. This is the problem. You have this thing that happens in political media now where it's like you kind of just have to decide, all right, I'm just not going to care about anything, and I'll just say whatever I want. There's an old song by Tool, actually. An old song by Tool about that, Opiate. It's like, I can say what I want to say, even if I'm not serious. I can say what I want to say, even if I'm not serious. And it's just like, you can't even, if you want to be in political commentary, it's like, you can't even make a joke anymore. It's like, why is NASA responding to Kim Kardashian? It's like, if I come out here and say, I don't believe we went to the moon, then it's, oh my gosh, everything else you say is disqualified. Nothing else. You can't even say 1 + 1 = 2 now. You can't even say that the sun is hot now. You don't believe we landed on the moon. And then it's like, hey, whoa, hold on a second. Why do you believe we did land on the moon? What do you know about the boot prints on the moon? What do you know about the actual structure of the moon, the spacecraft? What do you know about the lighting and the shadows? What do you know about the flag? What do you know about the camera that was placed there and how they got, like, what do you know about the moon landing that makes you such an expert? Oh, you just trust the government. Oh, okay. So that makes me the crazy person because you trust the government and I don't. Gotcha. But it's like, you can't even come out here and just make a statement like, oh, I don't believe that we went to the moon, or I don't believe that the videos we saw from the moon, maybe more specifically, I don't think the videos we saw from the moon were actually from the moon. I think it was something else, or it was in a Hollywood basement, whatever. And it's just like, oh, now you're not even allowed to say 1 + 1 = 2. Now you're not even allowed to say that the sun is hot. Now you're just, everything you say is completely false and true. And then it's like, well, hold on. I really don't care about the moon landing. But what makes you such the expert? Have you ever even looked into it? Have you ever even asked a question about it? Does any of it make sense to you? I've got more technology in this phone right here than they apparently had in 1969 on the lunar spacecraft. But hey, if you dare not trust something the government says, or you dare question an official government narrative, or you even question the moon landing, God forbid, you're not allowed to take anything in politics and talk about it ever again. That's how it goes. which is just crazy. All right, these liberal women think they've got something figured out. They think they're onto something here. I'm not so convinced. So women, apparently these women are dating, they're on these dating apps, or they're going out, they're trying to date ICE agents. Liberal women are now trying to date ICE agents so that they can get pictures of them and find out who they are so that they can get doxxed. You know, I'm not buying it, actually. I'm not buying it. That's like Hunter Biden saying, I just want to try crack just so I can tell people what it's like. Guys, I'm just going to do crack so I can see what it's like and then tell you not to do it. Yeah, I'm just trying this crack here for social experiments only. That's all. That's all. No, I'm not buying it, liberal women. I think you want to date the ICE agents. That's what I think. I think you think they're hot. I think you want one of these ICE agents to pick you up and toss you around. And maybe keep the mask on while they're doing it. You know, one of those E. Jean Carroll type situations that she likes to talk about. You know, the whole thing. You know, she says she fantasizes about it. No. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, liberal women. I know what you're really into. I know what you're doing here. You just want to get with the ICE agents. You think they're hot. This isn't a social experiment. This isn't a political agenda. You want those ICE agents to toss you around. It's okay. I totally get it. I get it. The dating pool. If you're a liberal woman and you're dating and you're trying to date liberal men, it's not good for you out there. There's probably not many liberal men that can pick you up, let alone open a jar of peanut butter, you know? There's not many liberal men out there that probably know how to operate a hammer, let alone a woman's body. So I get it. I understand. So you're coming up with an excuse to date conservative men. It's okay. We totally understand. Nobody likes to date liberals. You're not alone. But I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Just be honest. You want to date the ICE agents because you think they're hot, and you want a man that can finally take care of you because there's not a liberal man out there you can find to do it. It's okay. Nobody's going to judge you. People will understand. They will. So just be honest. Just try the honesty route one time. Just try it one time. Okay. You know what? Let's take calls. We could do, you know what we could do before we take the calls here? We could have some fun. I got all these leftovers that I never played, but you know what? Let's just take calls. I'm going to trash the leftovers. I'm just going to trash them. It's fun. We've got some fun leftovers, but we're just going to trash them, and we're going to open up the phone lines instead. That's what we're going to do. I'd rather hear from you than, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should do some of these leftovers, actually. Some of the funny ones. Yeah. Here's Zoran Mamdani and AOC. Did you know that Zoran and Sandy Cortez are romantically involved?
I think AOC and Bernie Sanders are having an affair. Like, people know this. Everyone knows. After their little events, they put on a little salsa on their trailer, and it moves around quite a bit.
Zoran Mamdani just said he thinks you guys are having an affair. What's your response to that?
No, let me jump in on this one. This is what
we're talking about.
So what if we like to put on a little salsa and get naked in our trailer? This is a big booty Latina. I'm not going to pass on a big booty Latina. What if Trump deports her tomorrow and all I have left is my ugly ass wife with no booty? I need my big booty Latina.
I relate. I think it's true. I think it's true what's happening between these two. And, good for Bernie, feeling the burn here. Even in the, the upward ages, he's still getting it done with the big booty. And we know AOC's husband isn't handling the business. They got some problems. Maybe Zoran is jealous. Maybe he's onto something, Nancy Pelosi. Oh, you know what? I've got something crazy about the stock market today. You wouldn't, I couldn't even believe it actually. But here's Nancy Pelosi. We're asking. Pelosi tracker was number 2. Number one in the stock market was Inverse Kramer. Number 2 in the stock market was Pelosi tracker. But there was actually a real number 1. Maybe I'll tell you who it was. But here's Pelosi explaining how she does so well.
Congresswoman, how are your trades now that you can't get insider information? Congresswoman, how are your trades now that you can't get insider information? Is it true you've been drinking more vodka lately? Why do your boobs look like sandbags? Is your husband still having an affair with the hammer guy? And why are you dressed like a leprechaun? Have you found your pot of gold yet?
Shut up. I'm 200 fucking years old. You try walking around with a pair of sandbags, and yes, my husband is fucking the hammer guy. That's why I'm drunk.
American people want to know. We still have questions. Thank you.
Obviously, these are not AI parodies. Obviously, these are not AI parodies that we're playing for you on Halloween. Obviously not. This is actually Hakeem Jeffries. This is really Hakeem Jeffries after Trump put the sombrero on him.
I'm not even Mexican. I don't know why President Trump keeps saying that shit. He needs to say it to my face, Holmes. And while we're at it, I'm getting really tired of all that dollar store Obama shit. It's getting old, homie. My name is not Dollar Store Obama. Okay, pendejo? ¡Órale! ¡Arriba! ¡Arriba!
You're just having some fun. Just having some fun on Halloween, all right? It's okay to have a little fun every once in a while with big booty Latinas and Pelosi's sandbags and the Hakeem Jeffries sombrero. So Inverse Kramer hit 51% returns. Pelosi tracker hit 46% returns. I don't even want to tell you what percent I hit. I'll probably get investigated. And it's like, I don't even want to talk about it, but it was crazy when I saw that today. And I was like, oh my God, how is this real? It's like beating your friends that do it professionally, that are a little more conservative because they handle other people's money, is like, oh, okay, that's all right. But Inverse Kramer, like the legend, Pelosi tracker, like the gold standard. And so far, somebody else might be beating both of them. How? It can't be. How could it even be? All right, we got time to take a couple calls. Maybe producer Dominic will come in on a Halloween show. I don't know. He might be a little spooked out. We'll see. I'm putting him on the spot here. But let's go ahead. Let's open the phone lines. We'll take some Halloween calls. Just having some fun. Where's my damn phone number? Where is my... There it is. 747-255-60. 747-255-60. And, you know, I've got a little Halloween costume here, but I won't put it on right now. I do have a little Halloween costume here, though, that I could put on. Maybe I'll do it before the end of the show. Maybe I'll do that before the end of the show. But let's take some calls here on a Halloween broadcast. 747-255-60. Number is on the screen. One line. You're on the air when you call. I just ask you your name and where you're from, but we are on the air and running. Oh, look, it's Sydney Blumenthal with a Ukraine flag lapel pin. Nice foreign flag you have. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this stolen valor rat. Look at this stolen valor rat. Look at this foreign flag wearing, Ukraine flag lapel wearing rat. You stolen valor, foreign country supporting rat. All right, I got that out of my system. Sorry to the caller. First caller of the day. What's your name? Where you're from? Hey, what's up, Frank? We're good, man. I hope the weather out there is as nice as it is here, man. We are just blessed today. It's like a perfect day today. Love to hear it. I had I had somebody I had somebody ask me today, a friend of mine that follows the show, and she said, "Why is everybody always talking about your hair or your beard?" And I said, "I don't know, but I think it's a good thing." This is the longest this is the longest my hair has ever been. Barry Gibb, look at this. This is a boss right here. Hold on a second. I should have been this for Halloween. Look at that. What is this? Look at this. He's got like this gold diamond crested eagle chain here. Look at that. Where do I get one of those? Guys, this is me. This is my look. I'm going. This is me. This is it. Well, it's too late for me this year. I'm going to be Barry Gibb. If my hair is still on my head, if I'm still blessed enough to be alive a year from today, I'm being Barry Gibb next year. And you, my friend, are responsible. I'm going for this exact look with the black collared shirt, the eagle gold chain, and then it's basically the hair I already have, except it would probably take me about 3 more months to get to this hair. I think I got 3 more months before I can get there.
Keep it long, let it grow. You look great. You're awesome. And look, I before I get off here, one thing I got to tell you. I may have told you this the last time I talked to you. I called you, I don't know, 2 3 weeks ago. But the one thing, and I got to get this off my chest, and I want people to hear this. So please let me opine on this for just a moment. Alex Jones is the worst interviewer I've ever seen in my life. And here's the reason why. He can't keep his freaking mouth shut. He always has to interject himself into the person who he's interviewing. They'll get 3/4 of the way through what they're trying to say, and Alex goes, "Oh yeah, and I have," and shut the hell up. Let your person talk. He could take and learn so much from you, from Joe Rogan, from oh God, Sean. I can't remember his last name now. I went dead. The ex SEAL.
Sean Ryan.
Sean Ryan. Thank you. They ask a question and they allow the person that they're interviewing to expound on the question and let them talk. Alex doesn't know how to do that, and he's so. I mean, I love the guy. I admire him for what he's done. I have mass respect for him, but he does not know when to keep his freaking mouth shut. There, I got it off my chest.
Well,
I
you know
had to
what?
do that.
I appreciate all of your kind words and your call today. Unfortunately, half of your call didn't even go. The first half of your call didn't go out because I forgot to take the call line live. The second half did. So people were wondering. They thought I was talking about myself and my hair. They didn't hear your voice, so I sounded extra crazy. But it's kind of fitting on a Halloween that they think I'm talking to myself on air because that's what I already do anyway. But man, I got this Barry Gibbs up here, man. I'm telling you, this is the look for me right here. I think this is like an original clone. This guy was the first of my batch. I don't know what my batch number is. There's a lot of us running around out there. One of us is pitching in the World Series tonight, Clayton Kershaw. There's a lot of my clones running around out there. It looks like old Barry Gibb was one of the original stock here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And yeah, how much time did it take them to quaff that perfectly?
That is a look. It's kind of a Trump. It's kind of a Trump hair job on the front. The blowout job he's got is kind of a Trump job, but Trump doesn't have the length on the.
Trump's hair is changing. Have you been watching him?
What do you mean?
He
What's
doesn't
changing?
have that. Well, he doesn't have that orange thing going on. I was watching a clip of him yesterday, and I can't remember where it was. His hair is not over his ears anymore. It was like a little higher and tighter on the sides.
So I think no, I think what you're looking at is when Trump gets the haircut, I think they are doing it a little tighter. So I think that's just the hair. I think that's just the haircut being fresh. I don't necessarily think it's a different do, but Trump wears a lot of makeup, and so I think I think it depends on how much makeup he has on. That kind of changes the contrast between the hair and the face. So I think there's a little bit of an illusion there when he's wearing a lot of makeup versus when he's not wearing any makeup. I think it kind of changes the whole look.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen him with no makeup. I mean, I'm so used to seeing him the way I see him as he's presented on TV, so that if I saw him without makeup, I can imagine what he would look like. And I don't think he would look bad. He would just look.
No, he looked like an old man. Yeah, he just looked like an old man.
Hey, dude, I'm 74, so I mean, and I look pretty good for my age.
You sound good. Well, here's the good news. Here's the good news, and I thank you for the call. It's great weather in North Carolina. That's he was very complimentary of me, so I guess I'm really upset that you didn't. I'm really upset the audience didn't hear how complimentary you were of me, because that was the most important of your call. Most important part was you talking about how great I was, and they didn't hear it, so I'm bummed out about that. But no, joking, of course. The good news is the weather is beautiful in North Carolina. It's beautiful here in Austin on Halloween. I hope everybody's going to have a great, happy, safe, healthy Halloween tonight. I hope the weather is as beautiful wherever you are. I'm telling you, folks, it is perfect in Austin today. It's just perfect. And I'm so glad to hear it's in North Carolina, too. Brother, thank you for the call. I'm sorry I forgot to take the line live for the first half. That's on me. Isn't that ironic? You're complimenting me on how great I am, and then I make a technical error. Whatever. Even I'm not perfect. It's hard to believe, but it's true. Next caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Andrew from San Antonio, Texas.
All right, Andrew, what's up?
Hey, Owen, do you remember that time that you did a show at the War Room? After a night of partying with me, you opened up the show. You're like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm a little slow today, but I had a late night last night." Do you remember that?
No. Refresh my memory a little bit more.
This happened several years ago. Me and you were drinking on 6th Street, and this was after a dinner at that Russian restaurant on East 6th. And we were hanging out. I was hanging out with some of the Proud Boys. And me and you were drinking. We took several shots that night. And I remember I drove back home to San Antonio. I remember I tuned in the Warm Room. And at 3 p.m., you came on. And you were a little hungover on the show. You're like, "Hey, guys, I'm sorry. I had a late night last night." I remember I laughed my ass off at this show.
I said that? I didn't say that.
Yeah, I swear to God. You're like, "Hey, guys, I'm sorry. I'm a little slow right now. I had a late night last night." I always wanted to call in. I never got a chance to call in. So I've been following you for a long time. But do you remember, I remember, man, you called me the Asian. I remember hanging out. I was this Asian guy hanging out with you. But anyway, so sorry, I didn't want to derail your show, man. I'm so glad I got it, man.
It's already Halloween. It's already Halloween derailment, so it's okay. Yeah, I was able to pull that off in my 20s. I don't even try anymore in my 30s. I don't even try. But I'll tell you what, I think, I don't know if you know who Badass Uncle Sam is. You might.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know
he could probably one-up you. I went to a concert. No, this is true. I went to a concert with Badass Uncle Sam in New Orleans. This was years ago. This would have been probably like 2018. Or 19. The Foo Fighters opened up the Fillmore in New Orleans. What a great show it was. And me and him, we went to the concert. We went out afterwards. It's probably 3 a.m. because those bars in New Orleans, right? They don't close like all night. I think they close at like 5 a.m. or something.
Yeah, I've been to New Orleans.
It's like 3 a.m. and him and I are I think we're sipping on some scotch or something. And we look at the clock and he's like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "What are you doing? You got to be on air tomorrow." And I look at him and I go, I guarantee you, in 12 hours, I'm going to be in studio hosting the War Room. And he thought I was crazy. He was like, "You're out of your mind. There's no way." He's laughing his ass off. 12 hours later, I'm sitting in the War Room studio hosting the show. He's texting me. He's like, "How the hell? Like, how did you pull that off?" Like, dude, I'm a machine. I'm not actually human. There you go. I'm not actually human. I'm a quantum human clone, bio-specific android.
Yeah, I knew the deep state got to you guys. Hey, I just want to say that when that night that I hung out with you guys on the 6th Street in Austin was one of the best nights I ever had. I still talk to my friends about to this day. Like, thank you for a great time, man. I've been watching you since day one, since when Roger Stone was on your show. I've been a fan since day one, man.
That's awesome. Roger's going to be the first guest of this show. I don't do guests on the show, but I'm going to get Roger on. Roger's going to be on Monday. He's going to be the first guest, and we'll probably do an hour with Roger Monday to be the first guest. I don't know how often we'll do guests, very rarely, but I wanted to get Roger on. But, man, we had some fun. We had some fun then, and we'll have fun again. We will have fun again. In fact, we're still having fun. We're still having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. And we're going to be winning while we do it, too. Next caller, what's your name, where you're from?
Hey, Owen, my name is Kevin Ross, and I'm calling you from the great state of Indiana, Lafayette.
All right.
Right outside of Purdue there.
All right.
So, Owen, I want to thank you for taking this call, and I'm going to set you back here, but I think you need to hear this.
All right.
So I'm 63, going to be 64. Used to be a Calvin Klein model in the 80s. I couldn't bring sexy back with a tow truck now. But let me say this to you, my friend. If you would have told me when I was your age, hey, Ross, they're going to be doing this when you're in your 60s. Hey, Ross, they're going to be doing, I said, no, that's not good. No, they'll never do that. Owen, I'm telling you, when Alex Jones had his show, with all due respect, I waited for you. I waited for your segment. I would go on BitChute and I would wait for your 40, 50, 60-minute block. And I'm a little emotional right now. But I'm so disillusioned with the United States of America. I don't want to get freaky. I don't want to get conspiracy, but let me say this to you. I used to be a Trumper. I haven't torn the sign down yet in my bedroom, but let me say this to you. When he said in that press conference, when the reporter said, Trump, the economy's doing good, things are doing good, but what about these Epstein's files? And Trump said, and I'll never forget it, Owen, when Trump said, you still talking about, I had to look, I was smoking a cigarette or hitting my pipe, and I had to look up, Owen, and Owen, my heart dropped. Owen, the level of patriotism that you have. People don't understand the barbaric way that Biden. I'm from Chicago, and I'll never forget when Obama won, people were lined up outside the 7-Eleven to buy the Sun-Times to get that Obama. I knew then, and Owen Schroyer, I can't believe that you took my phone call. But I'm telling you, my friend, they're coming for us. They're coming just because we believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross. And Owen Schroyer, I'm 63, going to be 64. I get $80 a month in food stamps with my Social Security. I got a bad leg, but I'm trying to find some employment that would work with the leg.
Are you
not going to go burn down the neighborhood?
Are you about to lose?
I know you let me speak. I love you.
Wait a second.
Understand you are. Don't even go, Charlie Kirk. I can't even watch America's Voice anymore. I can't.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Owen Schroyer, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. People gotta read through when I say I'm blessed, do you understand? I am blessed to hear your voice. I thought about you. I got out of bed and made my coffee, and I thought about you when you were in jail, and it was sacrilege, and I almost got on a bus and went to D.C. on January 6th. And I'll never forget, Owen, they tried to jam us with that vaccine here. And I made some waves in Lafayette, Indiana, in the pharmacies, and I almost got kicked. Owen Schroyer, we need 1,000, 1,000,000 Owen Schroyers.
All right, listen. Hey, hold on a second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Coming from? I'm not.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I love it. When they talk about the DoorDash drivers coming, yeah, it's Jane. No, it's somebody from Jamaica that I can smell 15 miles away with the cologne. And I'm a dasher. I'm a door dasher. That's what I can do with the bum leg. Owen Schroyer.
All right.
Owen Schroyer.
Can you hear me?
I know
Can you
I'm
hear
sorry.
me? No, you're good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Are
you.
you
Owen Schroyer, I don't know.
are you going to be losing your benefits?
Yeah. Yeah, but Owen, it's $80. But Owen, and I'm guilty.
Well, no.
Owen,
Hold
we
on.
make up
You're not
every
guilty.
line.
You're not
Owen,
guilty. You're not guilty because I actually said this earlier today when I was in a debate and I was trying to explain to somebody what conservative values actually are. And I said a small welfare state, a small welfare state. I think conservatives can support a small welfare state, whether it's a Social Security type thing or something for veterans.
Look at Minnesota. Look at the fraud.
That's what I'm saying. You're not engaging in fraud. You get a little bit of a stipend to help you keep your head above water. I'm not against that. I'm for a very small welfare state that actually benefits people that need it, that have good reasons to need it. So, I mean, yes, politically, I stand more on the side of no tolerance for a welfare state. But if I'm actually laying out conservative values as policies, I say it very explicitly. In earlier today, I said a tiny welfare state for people that actually need it or deserve it. What we have now is just abuse. What we have now is just the corrupt political establishment buying off the class of people that would normally be revolting. But you shouldn't feel guilty. You shouldn't feel guilty. You paid into Social Security your whole life. You have a disability. And it just shows that inside of you, whatever it is that's making you feel guilty for taking it, it just shows that, yeah, you don't like it, but maybe you need it. That's okay. So you're not the bad guy here. Nobody's blaming you for being the bad guy. I would say I understand why people are upset at the state of the country. Obviously, I'm with you in that, but don't get too depressed. You say we need 1 million Owen Schroyers. Well, there's never going to be 1 million Owen Schroyers. There's never going to be 1 million of anybody. But this is why we're here, because we're changing hearts and minds. We're winning hearts and minds. And it's going to be a long process to turn this ship around. It's going to be a long process. It was a long process to put this country in the state it's in today. It was a long process to trick and deceive Americans into becoming slaves to this corrupt system. So it's going to be really long and difficult to get them out of it as well. And some of the myths around the story of Harriet Tubman, you know, she allegedly said, she's allegedly quoted saying that she could have saved 10 times the slaves if they would have known they were slaves. So, you know, apply that to where we're at today. We're trying to set our people free. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to set our people free. But how can you set them free if they don't even know they're slaves? So it's a great challenge. It's an honor to get this challenge from God, and we will win. We will win. God bless. Thank you for the call. Next caller, what's your name? Where you from?
Oh, and what's up? Ben from Ontario, Canada.
What's up? You know, I can't let the Blue Jays win the World Series. I just can't. I have to. It's like I want to see the evil empire of the Dodgers fall, and I want to make fun of all my friends that are Dodgers fans. Selfishly, I want that. But I can't. I just can't support a Canadian team winning the World Series. I just can't. I don't want to see it. But I think it might happen tonight.
It's our only team. It's our only team, man.
Yeah, well, you lost the Expos, so. Boy, how bad did they screw you guys out of that deal? They canceled an entire Major League Baseball season just to get that team out of Montreal. Let's see what the odds on tonight's game is.
It's Quebec, though, so who cares, right?
Yeah, nobody. That's
still
right.
got the game.
Nobody cared. Hey, there's some Canadian football happening tonight.
So who do you? Obviously, you want the Dodgers to win.
I don't know. I'm trying to. Let me see the line tonight. What do we got here? Yeah, the Dodgers are favored. The Dodgers are slight favorites tonight. I feel like I said it. I picked the Dodgers to win in 6, but then I said it on, I guess it was Wednesday. I said that them winning the 18-inning game is actually going to, I think that was actually going to cost them, was winning that game.
But what's worse, though? California or California, Gavin Newsom winning? Like,
wait, what is that? Wait, what?
I mean, if LA wins, and it's like California wins, Gavin Newsom wins, it's like, what's worse, that or Canada winning?
I don't know. Honestly, the Blue Jays, if the Blue Jays won and defeated the Dodgers, I wouldn't be upset, but I would I can't help my American patriotism would just be like, man, I don't want that. I don't want a Canadian team to win.
You guys got to give us this win. You're beating us
No,
up on
I don't. I don't have to give you anything. You guys whoop our ass in hockey every time there's a big game. Every freaking time, every damn time there's a big game between USA and Canada, you guys whoop our ass. I don't have to give you anything in the baseball world. I refuse.
Fair enough.
I refuse.
But on a serious note, even though the Jays are going to win, I hate to say it, but do you really support the tariffs against Canada? Because it's like, come on, man.
Here's what I would say to that. Here's what I would say to that.
Can I just say my angle quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know you got to get an answer,
go ahead.
The reason why it's happening, they say it's because this ad Doug Ford did. Like, it's clearly because Carney acknowledged Palestine as a state. And they're like, now we're going to screw you financially. Trump, go get him. Get him, Trump. And he's like, yeah. That's what I think.
Okay. I don't disagree with that. I think that the Israeli lobby that has the most influence over this administration, I'd say, because they all get mad, like, Trump runs the administration. All right, calm down. So let me say it like this. The biggest influence of this administration, not named Trump, is the Israeli lobby. All right, that's the biggest influence over this administration, not named Trump. That's the Israeli influence. Okay, so yes, Trump uses tariff and foreign policy to try to advance the Israeli cause. That is 100% true. Now, whether that's the exact case with this tariff situation or not is maybe open for debate. I would probably agree with what you're saying. Now, since you went there, I'll get back to the tariff thing in a second, but let me address something else that happened today. All right. Oh, this is going to be a little more long-winded, so I'm going to pot you down real quick, but just hear me out for a second. So there has been, first of all, this campaign, there's obviously a big anti-Muslim campaign post-September 11th, and again, I'm just laying out the facts here, okay? There's no political opinion, just listen to the facts. Obviously, post-September 11th, there has been a big anti-Islam agenda in American politics, in the American media, and it's even actually tied back to Nigeria after September 11th. So the same agenda, the same anti-Islam agenda, they've been using the Nigerian angle for years. Boko Haram, whatever. You can go back and find stories about radical Islam in Nigeria. I think they've killed, the story is they've killed over 100,000 Christians. The radical Islam in Nigeria has killed over 100,000 Christians in the last 2 decades. Okay, this is the reporting. Again, I'm not providing. This is not opinion. I'm just telling you this is what's going on. So lately, obviously, this debate about, let's say, Israel or Jewish influence or Muslim Brotherhood or Muslim influence, whatever. It's like this whole thing is kind of festering again. And I think for the first time ever, I think the Israeli side is losing badly. I think that we have the Israeli side losing worse than ever. And it really has nothing to do with Islam. So it's kind of like the Israeli people have this idea that everybody's against them because they're Jewish, and so everybody blames something on Jews. But I feel like they kind of have the same thing about Muslims. Like they want to blame everything wrong on Muslims. They want to blame anything against them on Muslims. So they see some American that takes a stance against Israel, and they say, oh, you're paid for by the Muslim Brotherhood. You're paid for by Qatar. Well, you're basically just doing the exact same thing that you think people are doing to you. So they're losing this debate badly. So now they're bringing this Nigeria story back up. They're using the Nigeria story to try to rally Christians, rally Americans against Islam, the enemy of Israel, the enemy of Middle Eastern Jews, and they want America to be on their side. Okay, so they're bringing back this Nigerian thing, and I get hit with this all the time. I have these posts all the time aimed at me. It's total propaganda. It's obviously bots, and they just say, Owen Schroyer won't talk about the Nigerians. Owen Schroyer won't talk about Islam killing Christians in Nigeria, and I actually do cover it. But it's all just propaganda aimed against me to try to hurt my reputation. So now it's so bad. This all happened at the same time. And all I do is recognize propaganda. That's one of the things that if I can sit here and say, well, what are you good at? I'm really good at recognizing propaganda. I can recognize it about as fast and efficiently and effectively as anybody else in the media. At the exact same time, I'm watching Fox News today, and they're doing a story on the radical Muslims in Nigeria. And right when Fox is doing that, President Trump sends out a post about Islam killing Christians and how we need to go to war against Islam in Nigeria. And I'm just like, this is so obvious that this is propaganda. It couldn't be more obvious that this is propaganda. Now, is there a problem in Nigeria with Christians? Is there a problem in Nigeria with radical Islam? Is there problems in Nigeria? Yes, nobody's denying this. I don't live in Nigeria. I don't support Nigeria. The American people don't basically support the existence of Nigeria like they do Israel. So it's a total non-starter. There is no equivalency here. It's all about getting you to hate Muslims so that you support Israel, because that's their whole thing is, hey, we both have the same enemy. So they want to convince you that their enemy is your enemy. And so that's the game. So what I see here, it couldn't be more obvious. The Israeli lobby is losing hearts and minds. They're desperate. It's the least popular lobby in D.C. It's the least popular aspect of American foreign policy now, both on the right and on the left. So they're just trying to overwhelm the system with propaganda. They're trying to bring Christians back in. They're trying to get you to hate Muslims, and none of it's working. So where do they go? So they go to Fox News, the biggest source for conservatives, and they hit the Nigerian stuff there. And then they go to President Trump, and they say, President Trump, you need to be posting about the Christians in Nigeria. And so then he does it. Now, look, okay, do we want to save the Christians in Nigeria? Because nobody ever offers a solution. So I'm offering the solution right here. Right here. Everybody wants us to care about the Christians in Nigeria and hate the Muslims because they're blaming them for it. So I have the solution. We need to send in the IDF. It's the obvious solution. I want to send in the IDF to Nigeria, and they can go to war, and they can save the Christians in Nigeria. The American military, the American people, we've been bailing out Israel for 50 frickin' years, okay? We just sent a stealth bomber to attack your enemy that you're threatened by. So, okay, if you care so much about Christians, and you care so much about the Nigerians, and you want to prove to America, you, Israel, you want to prove to America how much you care about Christians, and you're finally willing to actually risk a little bit like we have, then send in the IDF to Nigeria, save the Christians, destroy the radical Islamic terrorists, and celebrate the day. Let's see you do it. Let's see you do it. Because right now, my country is a little tied up, in case you haven't noticed. My country is a little tied up. So let's send in the IDF. Prove to me you really care. I want to see you call for the IDF to go save the Christians in Nigeria. It was the Americans and it was the Russians that saved the Jews in Germany, okay? And really, it was the Russians that defeated Hitler, if we're being perfectly honest. It was the Russians. And it was the Russians that faced the most death in World War II, by the way. So, okay, I agree. The Christians are being slaughtered. It's a horrific attack on Christianity in Nigeria. Let's send in the IDF. We already pay for you anyway. The IDF is already funded by the U.S. taxpayer anyway, so it's basically our military. So let's send in the IDF and let's solve all the problems. Let's prove it that you actually care about Christians while you're burning Christian churches in the Middle East and in Israel and Lebanon and in Syria and in Jordan and everywhere else. Prove it. Send in the IDF, destroy the radical Islam terrorists, and save the Christians in Nigeria. And until that happens, shut up. Shut the hell up. It's all propaganda. We know exactly what you're doing. But really, I just sit back and laugh. I just sit back and laugh because it shows how badly they're losing the narrative. It shows how desperate they are to try to keep the American people paying for anything that they want. And it's just done. It's just over. Okay. Now, the tariffs. I told you I'd get back to it. You know, I don't necessarily support or not support any one tariff. I think that the overall agenda that Trump is trying to do, I do support. He's trying to attack the trade deficit. He's trying to get fair and balanced trade. And he's trying to get the U.S. to become a manufacturing hub again so that we don't have to rely on trade and we don't have to rely on China and foreign countries for manufacturing. So that I support. Any one issue with tariff, like any single one out and say, do I support it or not? I don't. It's not that I do or don't. I support the larger issue of what President Trump is to do. I also think that tonight's over, Los Angeles Dodgers And Toronto Blue Jays 7.5. I think it goes over. Okay. So there you go. That was maybe the most important thing. All right. I held you on. I'll let you get a final statement here.
All right. I was going to say, yeah, I'm a long-time listener. I've been listening to you 7+ years, and I've gone back to Band.video a couple of times, honestly. But love you, man. Love what you're doing. Glad you're thriving in the new space. And yeah, man, thanks for the call. Thanks for having me on, man. Love you.
No, thank you for calling. All right, one more call on Halloween tonight. One more call. Final caller of the day. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Chad. I'm from Wisconsin.
All right.
I just want to see if I can bring awareness to how the government's covering for doctors. Like, I got paid. I collect disability, and I lost my 64 hours of SNAP benefits, whatever. But I was disabled by a doctor and was just basically pointed to the fine print that I signed above before I went in for my operation. And then he pointed at that after I had gangrene and 5 other procedures, and I was just swept under the rug for disability.
Are you a veteran?
No, I am not a veteran. I was a roofer and construction worker.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about how those disabilities work. I talk to a lot of veterans. I have a little bit of an idea about that, but outside of that, I can't really, I don't know.
To me, it just blows my mind that how as a roofer, I have to take insurance to where if it rains and a whole inside of somebody's house is ruined, I have to make it like new, or I'm sued to where I can never work again. But a doctor's insurance can just have loopholes and say, sorry, we're not paying this. Go on with life. The government will take care of you for the rest of your life.
Well, I can tell you the whole insurance industry is a scam. The whole insurance industry is totally corrupted. It's not good. And so you just highlighted probably a tiny aspect of it, but it's bad. It's definitely not good out there. And I met people that got put in prison for exposing it. I met people that got put in prison for exposing the insurance fraud. So that's how bad it is. That's how desperate they are to keep people uninformed about how bad the insurance fraud actually is. So that's pretty crazy. All right, let's do this before we sign off. Now, I'm unintentionally, I guess I could just go out as Barry Gibb. Barry Gibb? Is it Barry Gibb or Barry Gibbs? I think it's Barry Gibbs. I think I could just go out and say I'm Barry Gibb. I could just go out tonight and say I'm Sir Alan Crompton. I'm Sir Barry Allen Crompton Gibb, founding member of the Bee Gees. And that's my outfit. I don't think I would even have to do anything. What I could maybe take out a microphone or something and sing. I could be Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees, and I wouldn't even have to do a damn thing. I'm already him. I wouldn't even need an outfit. But instead, maybe I will do that, actually. See if people even know. I think I got the coif going. I think I got the look. I need to just kind of coif it back a little bit. I'll have to borrow somebody's hairdryer. But I want to remind people of something. As you're starting to see a lot of softies emerge, as the populist Trump movement, which is a big tent populist movement, is starting to reach some areas of contention and disagreement. And some people are going soft on us. Some people are going soft on us, and they're kind of getting a little squishy, and they're getting a little hurt feelings. They're getting a little butt hurt. And, I want to remind them of something. I want to remind them of a moment in time that we once called Dark MAGA. Well, guess what? Dark MAGA never left, baby. Now you're just scared of it. So Dark MAGA's still here, baby. We didn't go anywhere. You're really scared of it, though, aren't you? It's starting to shake your knees and rattle your cage a little bit. You're getting a little soft on us. You've forgotten about Dark MAGA, didn't you? You thought you liked Dark MAGA. You thought you were going to promote Dark MAGA. You thought it was cool and trendy. You didn't realize it was a real thing. Oh, we're real. We're serious. And you're finding out the hard way, not about us, about yourself, that you can't handle it, that you're too soft, and maybe you just weren't built for this moment. But I say go ahead. Step into the spotlight. Step into the fray and see how you like it. Because I bet it's going to roast you up. I bet it's going to eat you up and spit you out and make you disappear faster than a cockroach in the light. And don't worry. When you go ahead and hide like the cockroach in the light, we'll step back into the fray and own the moment and conquer the demons that you're too afraid to slay. So have no fear. Dark MAGA is still here. There you go. I was going to be Dark MAGA for Halloween. But I think maybe now I'll just be Barry Gibb. Get the quaff. I'm Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees. And I am staying alive. Didn't expect. No, I'm not going out with that. I'm not going out with that. I'm going out with the Ghostbusters again. Because I think it's a very underrated song from Walk the Moon that people don't even know about. That's what I think. We are signing off a little early today, folks. Got a family Halloween party tonight that starts soon, and I don't want to be late. I don't want to miss it. So signing off a little early, but you know what? When you're the boss, you can do whatever you want. So how do you like me now? How do you like that? Have a happy Halloween. Go out there. Find some fun. Maybe take a risk. I don't know. Just enjoy life. Just do something fun. Enjoy life. And just know somewhere I'm out there as Barry Gibb. Oh, yeah. Happy Halloween, y'all. See you next month.